tournament, and I think they might be able to bring in that another surprise to defeat Senegal again if the Senegal don't take their time, because this is the right time when you train someone out to be a good player, and the person is ready to defeat you, to take over from your throne.
Well, they have shown absolutely, the Mauritanian side here, they are in green, that they are ready for any challenge that's going to hold them in good stead when they go to the Beach Soccer World Cup in the Seychelles next year. There'll be 3 African representatives that time around, given that the Seychelles are the first African nation to ever stage the global event. As Mahamadou Wedu, well, we saw him, the 21-year-old, scoring a fantastic hat-trick last time out. How Mauritania would welcome another repeat performance from their number 11 today. So a smattering of fans here, but it's the national anthems for the formality, starting with that of Senegal. And now the national anthem of Mauritania. Oh, look at that from Mauritania. A proud moment for the West African nation as they prepare to take on their neighbours. These two countries side by side on the west coast of Africa, competing to see who will be top dog on the continent this time around. The referee, Mauritius official Louis Quesley Stephen Siave, as we see the starting lineups. Senegal just the one change from the side that beat Egypt 2-1 in the semi-finals. Seydina Lai Gajaga starting on the bench, and in comes Mamour Diane. Such a key player he's been for Senegal over the years. He's not always been fully fit here, but he starts today, the 34-year-old. And look out for Manjon Diane, wearing number 8, 5 goals so far in the competition. For him, confirmation of the refereeing crew. Egypt's Ahmed Mohamed Abdelhamid Elwan Nofal, the second official. And this is the Mauritanian starting lineup, unchanged from the team that beat Morocco 7-4 in the semi-final. Number 3, Mohamed Diallo, their inspirational captain. Sheikh wearing number 7, their live wire forward, the teenager. He will play up front alongside Wedu. They've got goals between them, 6 apiece for both Sheikh and Wedu, and there are more goals on the bench. Malik Bijati, who wears number 8, also has 6 goals, so that's 18 from just 3 players. And is that sort of firepower, Abu Aziz, the possible difference between these sides in this final?
Yeah, I think it is one great quality to have quality players in your team. And the last time that my fellow Nigerian team had such quality would be in 2015 when we played in Seychelles Island. We had myself, Abu Aziz, we had Emeka Ogbonna, we had Isiaka Olawale, that everyone was firing from all cylinders. And I think this is one thing that the Mauritanian side needs to be happy about, that they have gotten players that could score from anywhere. And it is a good one for them that once in a while, once a player doesn't get the goal, there are other players that could get those goals well for them. So Mauritania, they should be happy. They got Sheikh, the jersey number 7. They got Bijati that comes from the bench to get those goals. They got Wedu that also starts the game, also on 6 goals in 4 appearances so far. So it's a good one for them, for a team that is debuting in the tournament.
The thoughts of Abu Aziz, who played in a beach soccer AFCON final here in Egypt in 2018. Senegal, the victors then. As so often, 6-1 they beat Nigeria, despite the Super Sand Eagles taking the lead. And of the current Senegalese side, Mamour Diane got 2 in that game. Raoul Mendy as well got a couple, but that's the big team news for Senegal. Raoul Mendy wears number 9, absent entirely from the squad today. He got a couple of games in 2 previous finals, couple of goals I should say, but he is absent through injury. How big a miss will he be for the defending champions? As said, Mendy scored in the 2021 and 2018 finals, a brace each time. You can't replace that sort of experience as Sheikh cannons one in off Mamadou Sylla, one of 3 Senegalese in this starting lineup to have started every game alongside the goalkeeper Alseni Unjai. Ninu Jatta wearing number 2. Mamadou Sylla as 38 years of age. It'll be Mohamedou Wedu wearing number 11 from Mauritania. The 21-year-old with Shamal FC, who played it in. And this man, El Bashir El Eid. Well, it seems a long time ago that he scored Mauritania's first goal of the tournament, and he did it after 22 seconds. That mark already gone. And they also scored a goal after 8 seconds in the tournament. Wedu against Mozambique as El Bashir tries from distance. Jallo up towards Wedu. Wedu scrapping up against Mamour Diane wearing number 10 for Senegal. And it's a little bit like a wrestling tussle at the moment there for the moment. 4 or 5 players in there, the 5th being Alseni Unjai, who comes in, and he's going to be talked to by the officials, and he's going to go into the notebook as well. The hugely experienced goalkeeper for Senegal, Alseni Unjai, an early yellow card in the 2nd minute of the game.
Yeah, that's a well-deserved yellow card, and good officiating from the referee so far, because that was a good opportunity for the Mauritanian side to grab their early lead, and their Senegalese goalkeeper decided to disrupt play, and it's a good decision.
Sheikh Bekir with the throw. Sheikh Bekir, just as said, 19, plays with FC Tensu Welim, and fully expected to one day be the top player in Africa as Mamadou Sylla lets fly. 2 goals in the 2021 tournament for Sylla, 2 in 2022, yet to find the back of the net in Egypt so far. Manjon Jan, he's not struggled for goals, 5 this time around, 10 in the 2022 tournament for the man who was named best player on that occasion. Ninu Jatta, it's spilled and Senegal take the lead. 2 minutes on the clock, and Mamour Diane, well, they need a performance from him, and it fell absolutely perfectly for him, so following a little bit of pressure. Mamour Diane has his first goal since the first game for Senegal at the tournament, also against Mauritania, and the champions lead by a 0-0.
Yeah, Mamour Diane happens to be one of the most important players in the Senegalese beach soccer team. His injury so far has been affecting them, but his mental toughness, mental strength has been able to make him play games even with those injuries. And I think I'm very, very happy seeing him get on the score sheet right now, because that particular goal would surely take them into the game. And one quality that the Senegalese they always have is scoring crucial goals in crucial moments. And this early goal was what they scored against Egypt that got them that victory. And they've tried as much as possible to get that early goal, and that might motivate them more into the game.
Yes, it was the other Jan who scored in the first minute of the semi-final against Egypt, Manjon Jan. This is Mamour Jan, who's known as Jan, and Manjon is how we refer to the other Senegalese Jan in the side. And just to give you an indication of those injury problems for Mamour Jan, who's now down on the ground. Well, this is only the second match at the tournament that he's actually started. His first was in the first Group B game against Mauritania. But he's down on the ground now, and this will be a concern for the Senegalese coach Ngala Sylla, because, as said, Raoul Mendy is a big miss for them. That's goals off the bench that he doesn't have an option for with the 31-year-old Mendy off. He got 7 goals in the 2021 Beach Soccer World Cup, did Mendy. He got 2 earlier this year in the 2024 World Cup when Senegal represented Africa there alongside Egypt. He knows where the back of the net is, and you can't buy that experience. So Mamour, a key man for Senegal, and he's off, and going to come on Seydina Lai Gajaga, wearing number 4 for Senegal. If you're new to beach soccer and watching for the first time, rolling subs in the game. You can go off at any time. You don't have to wait for a break in play. You just have to leave the pitch before your replacement comes on. And if you've been subbed, you can come back on. But then beach soccer is hugely draining on the sand. And it helps players deliver the best performances they can by constantly being given little breathers here and there.
Yeah, I think an injury to Diane right now would be a big miss for the Senegalese side, because they already have Raoul Mendy that has 51 goals in 64 appearances. They already have him out. And Diane happens to be one of their experienced players so far, a player that could play in various positions. So getting him out also would be a big problem also, because they also have Thiaw, that is a new player that is also nursing a minor injury right now. Although he is on the bench, but he is nursing a minor injury. So they need to do everything possible to take Diane back into the pitch.
Well, just as you say that, who comes onto the pitch but Mamour Diane? Sanulai Chow, the man that Abu Aziz was talking about as Man John on the turn, on the swivel, on his left foot, can't keep it on target. And Abdul Latif C started every game for Senegal, finds Sheikh really well, and that's not a bad effort from Sheikh either. Just wide, and a little clash with Ninu Jatta, who's trying to say to the officials that there was an elbow coming in from Sheikh. Well, this is the 4th match since July between these sides. They met in a tournament in Mauritania in July. Mauritania winning 1, losing 1. Then they met again in Nouakchott in September. The hosts again winning. And they also won Mauritania earlier in the tournament, as said. That's nice play from Mamour Diane. So that's 3 victories out of the last 4 against Senegal for Mauritania. And I don't think a lot of people would have expected those sort of results not so long ago. Sheikh twisting and turning, trying to show us his magic, just shoved off it by Jatta. Such a strong player. Here comes Sylla, driving forward he goes. He's got Manjon in the middle and just fires it behind.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very fierce encounter today, because the Senegalese, they need to be very, very physical in their style to bring down the attack of Weidou and Cheikh, because Weidou and Cheikh happen to be some of the best players that has good connections so far.
Bashir against the post for Mauritania, the closest they've come to an equaliser since that opening goal early on by Mamour Diane. On comes Sanulai Chow, 25 years of age, plays with Kalsara Beach Soccer, 2 goals so far at his first Nations Cup, and an instant touch I was going to say for him, but for the challenge in from Bashir. Papa Undoy, and it's not his First Nations Cup whatsoever. The 39-year-old with Ngor Almadi back home in Senegal in the capital Dakar, and Sheikh is down on the ground, and that'll be a worry for Moussa Bagayogo, the Mauritanian coach, because he's their spark, their live wire, Sheikh Belkheir, and he's got, of course, a free kick for Mauritania.
Yeah, Papa Ndo needs to be very, very careful, because in occasions like this, in situations like this, your experience would surely count. And his mistake in their semi-final match against the Egyptians made them concede that goal. So he needs to try as much as possible not to commit some errors and mistakes like that, because this is one of those mistakes of giving away a free kick against a quality side like Mauritania.
Can Sheikh drive Mauritania level? He can't, because it's off target. As Abu Aziz, the former Nigeria international, says, Papa Ndoye conceded the penalty against against Egypt in the semi. Egypt's only goal, a narrow 2-1 win as Mamour Diagne tries to find his second of the game. Deflected behind for a corner. Taken early, and it'll be a Mauritanian ball with the 25-year-old Abdul Latif. Ndoye keeps it away from Wedu. And Wedu will find Mohamed Diallo, who's been such an excellent player for Mauritania, as Abdul Latif sails one over. He started all but one game. Diallo, the skipper, wearing number 3, because he was suspended against Malawi earlier in the tournament, as another strike comes in from Mauritania. 3 periods of 12 minutes in beach soccer, and a 3-minute break in between. And Jatta, who can really hit them, comes forward, wins the challenge, importantly so, flicking it up. I thought he was going to try the overhead, he didn't, and instead it's with Abdul Latif C. Sheikh into the middle, and just cannons off Ndiaye onto Ndoye, and it's a Mauritanian corner.
Yeah, the Atta experience would really matter in games like this, because he needs to do everything possible to keep Sheikh, the jersey number 7 of Mauritania, off the game, because Sheikh happens to be one of the best players so far in this tournament, and keeping him away from getting a goal would be very, very huge for him and for his team. So you need to keep an eye on Sheikh 100%, and as much as keeping your eye on Sheikh, you still need to communicate with other players or playing against Wedu to be able to do their jobs and do it effectively.
Mamour Diagne with a striker goal, having just showed the defensive side of his game, as we see Patrice Motsepe, the Confederation of African Football president, looking on. Announced on yesterday, that he will be standing again for re-election when the presidential elections for CAF take place in March 2025. Mamour Diagne with the header at the far post. Can't keep it down, as a couple of substitutions coming from Mauritania. Malik Bijati, wearing number 8, is on. Amadou is going to come on, and Senegal also changing. Manjon on for Diagne, and Gajaga on, as well as Chow already left the pitch for the Senegalese on the last 4 Beach Soccer Nations Cups, and they've been conquerors of Africa on 7 occasions when you take into account the preceding tournament, which was really a Beach Soccer World Cup qualifier, but as said, effectively an African Championships. Bashir sails one over the bar, scored in 3 of his 4 games. Bashir had a really good tournament, the 24-year-old with Shamal FC back home.
I think he has done so well for himself. He has got a couple of goals, and this is especially when they needed those goals more in the second match of the tournament, or the third match of the tournament of their group stage. Their captain Diallo wasn't able to play because of a suspension, and Bechil stood up for his team and played so well and got a goal for them.
Amadou trying to get on the end of this. Bijati. Well, the Mauritanians are up on their feet complaining. They wanted that decision, and Bijati had his eyes on goal, scored in every single game for Mauritania. The 28-year-old plays alongside Sheikh at FC Tensu Welim. And Manjon, well, unfairly impeded the veteran Senegalese goalkeeper Ndiaye. He's been 7 times the best goalkeeper in this event the first time way back in 2007. Well over 150 caps. He scored at the last tournament, yet to do so here. Is this going to be his moment? We've already seen one goal today from a goalkeeper when in the third place playoff, Morocco beat Egypt, and Mohamed Manar scored a really special strike into the top corner. They got 2 goals in the 2018 AFCON, did Njai. Trying to beat Abdul Latif, but it's way wide of goal. And it stays.
Yeah, I have
1-0.
I have played against him so many times, and I think that is not one of his quality. Playing from the dead ball, I think he is a little bit better playing the ball to his own advantage, raising the ball and kicking. That is one of his qualities.
Jallo with the header. Bijati, undoubtedly one of Mauritania's top performers, but they've had a few, to be fair to them. Gajaga, striker goal from Gajaga over the bar, and he's got goals in him as well. The number 4 for Senegal, just 21 years of age. 5 he scored already, a hat-trick against Mozambique. He had started the last 2 games before this game. Abdul Latif C lets fly, and a little header, trying to glance it in, was Sheikh. And he got too heavy a touch on it, but that was good play from Mauritania. It also deflected in off or behind for a corner off the Senegalese. Bijati, Amadou at the far post goes clear. Jatta with a really important header to take it away from Amadou, who we really hadn't seen too much of until he appeared for the first time in the semi-finals, and he scored the goal that sealed the win, the 7th in the game, to not only put Mauritania into this final, but also to take them to the Beach Soccer World Cup. And what a feat it has been, because this is not just Mauritania's first ever beach soccer AFCON finals. It's the first time they've ever actually tried to qualify for this tournament. Sheikh with the overhead, forces the save from Njai. Really good stop from the Senegalese keeper, and good effort as well from the number 7 for Mauritania. And he goes again, and well, he tried the acrobatics once again, and I think that took the ball off the head of Amadou, who could have just headed that home. Yeah,
that was a massive strike from Sheikh, and to think he was playing against the best goalkeeper in Africa, I would also give credits to the goalkeeper for that save. It's a massive save, because if he hadn't had much reflex, that would have been a good goal for Mauritania.
Sheikh, he's known for his reflexes. Njai, known for his on-field leadership. Off-field, he's admired for his humility and commitment to developing the sport of beach soccer in Senegal, the undoubted best team on the continent of Africa. Oh, that's a really good save from Abdul Latif C as well, because Manjon struck it, and that was going into the far corner, and it kicked up off the sand as well. Well played, the Mauritanian stopper.
Well played. He has been one of the best goalkeepers so far in this tournament, and this is what they needed most. They've tried as much as possible to get to score 26 goals in 4 matches so far, and they've already conceded 16 goals. So it shows that the Mauritanian goalkeeper, they have a very, very good side as well.
They are indeed, and as you say, 26 goals for Mauritania in the tournament. They are the top scorers, and that's in the back of the net from Gajaga. Well, they were blindsided at the back. Mauritania, Jallo in the way. That doesn't really matter to Senegal, because Gajaga's down on the ground and celebrating. He's doubled Senegal's lead in the final minute of the first period. What a time to do it. And the African champions are 2 goals to the good, and Mauritania have got serious work to do to come back in this, their first beach soccer AFCON final.
Yeah, I think this is the Senegalese game plan, and it's already worked for them against Egypt in the semi-final. They are already managing so many injury crises, and they just want to do everything possible to get ahead of you and manage the game. They've already gotten their second goal right now. They just need to do everything possible not to concede, and that would take them just one step to winning the trophy. And this is what makes them special. This is what makes them African champions. This is what makes them the current champions, a world-class team at that.
Well, the problem for Mauritania is that they're up against the best defence in the tournament. Senegal having conceded just 10 in their 4 games. But best defence against best attack. And set up very nicely. Bijati for Mauritania. Can he reduce it? Whereas he can't against the bar. Well, that would have been the perfect time to open their account in the final, because there were just, 10 seconds or so to go before the end of the first period, and Mauritania won't have time really to do much here. And the buzzer goes, and a very, very tight opening period ends with the defending champions, the record conquerors of African beach soccer, clear by 2 goals. It could have been so different if that late strike from Malik Bijati had not hit the crossbar.
Yeah, that would have been a massive goal for himself. That would have been a massive goal for the team, because it would have given them a mindset to be able to come back into the game. And something again is a team like Mauritania, against Morocco, they came back 4 times in the game to be able to, until they won Morocco convincingly 7-4 in the semi-final.
So the highlights from the opening period. A mistake at the back from El Bashir Eli, just didn't get the right contact, allowed Senegal to lead early on through Mamour Diane. He couldn't miss from there, Senegal's number 10. And nice celebration as well from him, and good emotion. Mamadou Sylla firing one wide for the defending African champions. Abdul Latif C finding the head of Sheikh Belkhir, and his glancing header took a deflection off a Senegalese, otherwise it may well have troubled Njai. And then look at this from Sheikh, really good effort, and Njai in the Senegalese goal equal to it. Important stave because it bounced just in front of him. And then Gajaga, look at that, blindsided was Abdul Latif C through the legs of Jallo. I fancy, and those watching on in the stands enjoyed it, but not as much as this man, Gajaga. Senegal 2 goals to the good. So Mauritania, what do you think they need to do? Because we saw how Senegal sometimes locked up at the back in the semi-final against Egypt. They know exactly what they're doing, but equally Mauritania just keep on coming forward, and they've got danger men like Wedu and Sheikh, and goals in Bijati as well.
Yeah, Mauritania just needs to step up their game, because we saw in the last match they played against Morocco, where they came back 4 times in the game. A player like Sheikh was being man-marked against Morocco, and this is exactly what has been happening right now. Sheikh is being man-marked by the best defender so far in the tournament, Diatta, and that was where Wedo stepped up against Morocco. So we need to see more of Wedo in this game. We need to see more of more of a Bijati to be able to step up when Sheikh is not being able to stand up. So this is all Mauritania just needs to do to be able to come back. If they had scored that late minute goal, Bijati missed just now, that would have given them that mentality and zeal to be able to come back into the second round. They just need to do more, because we still have 24 minutes more to play. That's a long time to play in beach soccer game. All they just need to do right now is try as much as possible to get one early goal in the start of the second round.
And how important is it that they do find that early goal? Because the longer it goes on, their confidence surely will sag a bit, or do you think this team absolutely believe?
Yeah, in beach soccer game, goals gives you that strength, goals gives you that energy, and this is all the Mauritanian side they got, because we understand that they are the highest goal scoring side in this tournament so far. They got qualities that could score from every position. They just need to try as much as possible to kickstart those goals, and the rest will start pumping in.
So the second and middle period of the 3. Jan seems to have recovered from that early knock. Jatta strikes a goal and finds the back of the net, and Senegal, in the blink of an eye in this second period, lead by 3 goals to 0. And Ninu Jatta, he can't just defend, he can also score his 4th of the tournament, and that flew into the top left-hand corner. And this game is beginning to get away from Mauritania, and the African champions are showing exactly what they're made of. Super stuff from Ninu Jatta.
Yeah, I think he has shown that he is the best defender so far in the tournament, and he is not just a veteran. He has been playing beach soccer. He got so much experience. He got so much exposure, this is exactly what he's been showing in the team so far. I think I am so impressed with his consistency, with his composure for the Senegalese side. Even when they deal with the injury crisis, he has been standing tall, and this is the qualities of a perfect defender.
37 years of age, Diatta with Ngor Almadi, another who plays for the Dakar side. Absolutely knows where the goal is. 6 goals in the 2021 World Cup. Just the one earlier this year when the tournament was played out in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Lots of goals in this tournament in previous editions. Mauritania really need a goal. They need to find their way back into this game. Sheikh trying to do exactly that. Well cut out by Mamour Dian. Wedu, well, he'll be penalised for just coming in round the back of Njai. There wasn't much force on the challenge, but he certainly caught the Senegalese goalkeeper from behind.
Yeah, I think at the moment the Mauritanian needs to bring in a magic to be able to come back into this game, because at the moment 3 goals down against the current champions, the African champions, Senegal, would be very, very hard for them to come back into the game, because we saw it against Egypt when the Senegalese side were up 2 goals. It was very, very hard for you to come back, because the next thing they do is to change their tactics, change their gameplay, and this is exactly what I think the Senegalese would want to do. They would want to manage situation, they would want to manage time. It is just 1 minute into the second round and they've already gotten a goal, so they will try as much as possible to manage time, considering there's so many injuries in their team.
The thoughts of Abu Aziz, the former Nigeria international, played at 3 beach soccer World Cups. The first at the tender age of 15, captained the side. In the later stages of his career, when obviously considerably older than a teenager. Mauritania, well, they've not been in this position before. They've been hugely impressive, but this final just getting away from them for now. And Njai puts that into the training ground behind the goal, which Abdul Latif is defending. Mamour Dian to Njai. Into Amar Sam, who's come on for Senegal and won his side a corner. And as an offensive force, it's really only Dian, the number 10, who's on for Senegal. Sam, Silla and Diatta more defensively minded. And as Abu Aziz says, they like to lock up Senegal, especially when they're leading. And bring on 3 defensive-minded players. And just have the one up front from an attacking point of view. This is Senegal's 10th final in 11 visits to the African Beach Soccer Championships. They've only lost 2 in 2015, which was the first tournament under the auspices of the Confederation of African Football, because before, African nations competed in the African World Cup qualifiers, which are organised by the Beach Soccer World Cup, and then from the mid-noughties by FIFA. And they also lost in 2007, the first time they ever contested the competition. Senegal, they've only failed to meet the final once, 2009, when they finished 3rd. Every time they have been on the podium, the dominant force on the continent, the powerhouse. And they have started this final in dream fashion. Nightmare for Mauritania. Dian driving forward, plays it in nicely to Gajaga, and they make it 4. And that was beautiful football from Senegal. Really was one-touch stuff. And they put it on the plate for the man in the middle. And Amar Sam has his first goal of this 2024 Beach Soccer AFCON. And what a time to get it, and what a fashion and way to get it as well. Look at this lovely stuff.
Yeah, this is what makes you the best team in Africa. This is what makes you a world-class team. For a team that got to the semi-final of the World Cup to play at this level, you would understand why and how the Senegalese play with so much confidence, with so much composure. They lost in the first match against Mauritania, and they've decided to repay the Mauritanian back in their own coin, and winning convincingly. And with this performance, it is clear that it would take time for any team to be able to take that trophy away from the Senegalese side.
And they made that look easy, didn't they? Because this game is not easy.
It isn't easy at all, but if you looked at the goal, you would see how Mahmoud Dian brought the ball from the fence and made that pass to Gajaga. They passed that ball easily, and it's a good team goal for them. And you would understand what the technical crew has been doing for the team so far.
It's the sort of goal you would expect on a pitch without the rivets and unpredictable bounce that sand provides, but that's exactly what the Senegalese did, and the top-ranked team in Africa and 10th in the world are showing how it's done to the team ranked 13th on the continent and 74th in the world, although that ranking is going to change very greatly for the Mura Bitoun, who have done so well. They'll want more than this. They desperately need to find a goal. As said, got to give themselves some belief, because just being 2 goals behind in beach soccer is a big mountain to climb, and they clearly, as you can see in the top left-hand corner of your screen, trail by 4. Musa Bagayogo, their coach. Serious work to do for his side. Ninu Jatta looking for his 2nd of the game and Senegal's 5th. Well, it just bobbled off the mound that he had made just before it hit it, and that might be why he didn't manage to keep it on target. Wedu with the acrobatics. Good save from Njai. We saw a spectacular goal from Wedu in the semi-final against Morocco, and they do get on the score sheet, and it's that man, Wedu, again, his 7th of the tournament, and Mauritania's 1st in the final, and how they needed that. Bagayogo, the coach, unmoved on the touchline. He wants to see more and more goals, but vital that they scored, and fairly early too in this 2nd period, and that will give them some belief.
Yeah, this is what we needed from Wedu, because he happened to be one of their best players, and in occasions like this where their star man Sheikh is being man-marked by the best defender in the tournament, we needed Wedu and Bijati to step up, and this is exactly what Wedu has already done, getting that goal. Before he got that goal, he got one very, very good acrobatic that the best goalkeeper in Africa punched away, and we just need him to do more, because we still have lots of time to play.
Jatta blocked by the Mauritanian goal scorer Wedu. Manjon back on the field. Silla, nice pass there to Mamour. Oh, it's easy again for Senegal. 5-2 they now lead, and the instant reply to Mauritania's goal. And look at what it means to Mamour Jan. Well, he's saving his best for last in the final itself. 2 goals in a game for the first time in this tournament, and he took that really nicely, Mamour Jan, and very coolly so as well.
Yeah, he's one of their most influential players, and you could see his importance in the team. Even when he is injured, he's still very, very effective. He has gotten 2 goals already, and he also had a pre-assist in the 3rd goal. So it means how important he is to the team. They just need to try as much as possible to keep Wedu and Bijati away from scoring another goal. I think they are almost through to being the 8th-time champion of the African Beach Soccer Champion tournament.
Both the last 2 goals scored in the 16th minute of the game, just when Mauritania were possibly beginning to believe, well, this man, Wedu, certainly not giving up. He's got Jallo at the far post, and it's just too long for the Mauritanian captain. They started playing the sport in Mauritania about 2 decades ago, and they had a lot of learning to do. And they didn't have the resources, didn't have the infrastructure, but the federation and player passion meant the country began to assert itself, and as said earlier, they learnt a great deal from their Senegalese neighbours, who are schooling them again at present. Silla with the strike, and that's surely turned over the line by Manjon. It is indeed, and Senegal lead by 6, and this is increasingly becoming a long afternoon for Mauritania. A serious setback, the first they've really faced at the tournament, but Manjon Jan won't mind. His 6th of the tournament, his 1st in the final, and he just ghosted in. It was a really good striker goal from out wide by Silla.
Yeah,
And Mandion just turning it in from close range. Really good play again.
Yeah, Mandion would have been very, very impressed with his performance so far, and crowning it up with just with one goal in this encounter. I think he should be very, very happy. And looking at the last 3 goals the Senegalese scored, it's been a well-worked goal, a well-structured goal, a team goal, passing the ball to each other before getting the goal. It shows that the Senegalese, they are a well-coached coach and a well-coached team, and everything has been working well for them. For the Mauritanian side, I think it is just about fatigue and playing against a team that is a little bit more mentally matured than you are.
Experience counts for so much at the top level of any sport, and Senegal have it in droves. You say they're well coached. Their coach is Ngala Silla for Senegal, won the title in 2016, 2018, 2021. Also won it as a player before that. Took Senegal to the World Cup semi-finals in 2021. And after the 2021 Nations Cup, he was hired by Morocco, who wanted a touch of his magic, the golden touch. But the Moroccan Federation chose not to renew his contract in May earlier this year. Said he should look after the Moroccan youth structures instead. When he didn't like that, and Galasilla. And now he is the man who's on the verge of winning this Nations Cup, while Morocco had to settle for 3rd under their World Cup winning coach. Can Mauritania make it count here? El Hadj Cheno Mama Bach Nyong is on the pitch wearing number 10 for the Mauritanians, but it's with the Senegalese who are just coming forward again. The strength of Jatta. Bijati just about staying with him. Jatta again. Here comes Mamour Diagne on the overhead. He just doesn't get that right. And Abdul Latif C plays it early, and Jatta instantly down the other end of the pitch. I mean, credit to his fitness. Corner to Mauritania, and look at that from Mamour Diagne as well. He doesn't just score the goals at one end, he can block them at the other end. He's really alert to his defensive role, the number 10 for Senegal. And Abou Aziz will tell me that that's a vital part of the game, that you have players doing both things. Yeah,
it is so important that a player is very, very versatile, and it is also very important for your team and yourself, because you would surely find yourself in different areas of the pitch. How you able to adapt to situations like that are always very, very important.
Senegal trying to sneak in for a 7th through their number 7. Chow. As Hassan Ba, wearing number 11 for Senegal, the 20-year-old, gets ready to come on. Sheikh trying to find his first goal, didn't score in the semi-finals, goes down, doesn't win the free kick. Jatta will just play it forward into Chow. Chow, the first touch was heavy on his thigh. The replacement goalkeeper, Hassan Abedi, is on for Mauritania, 23 years of age. Came on against Morocco in the semi-final and made some really top quality saves, about 3 in the space of a minute. Very good goalkeeper. Njai driving forward. Bach Nyong, and it just kicks up off the sand, as it tends to do in this game. And Njai has to stretch to gather. Mamour can't keep that in. 6-1 Senegal lead as we come towards the end of the second period. They need goals, and this man can provide them. Bijati working it onto his left, could have struck, didn't. Chow tries to take it away from Bach, doesn't manage to do so. Mauritania doing what they need to do. Nyong forward into Jan, trying to work it onto his left foot for the shot. Bach forward to Sheikh, yet to see the best of him. Can he get this away? No, he can't, because Jatta again wins the battle. It's a lesson for young Sheikh so far at the moment from Ninu Jatta, but it's a really good contest as well. Sam is on for Senegal, 2 balls on the pitch, and the referee comes on to take it off, and Hassan will look long, and Papa Ndoye will hit that high and out. And that brief glimmer of hope when Mauritania were just 3 goals behind, so quickly extinguished by Mamour Diagne's second of the game. Sheikh with the overhead, and that's going to go out for a throw-in on the far side.
Yeah, talking about Jatta, he is made for occasions like this. He is made for battle. He is a fighter. He is a warrior. he's that defender that would give everything into games like this. And I think he has already done well for himself defending and getting 2 goals so far in this particular final match. That makes him a warrior in defending, a warrior in attacking zone. So I think he has no doubt being the best defender in the tournament.
A mentality monster, Ninu Jatta. Bijati slips away from him. He scored an own goal in the 2022 Nations Cup final. Jatta against Egypt. The game went to extra time after ending 2-2, and it was Senegal's number 2 who then stepped up to fire home the winning spot kick. Bijati, tight angle, cannot keep his header on target. Just over 2 minutes of the second period. It's been a brutal second period for Mauritania so far. Yes, they've scored, but they've conceded 4.
Yeah, I think it's just shows class. It shows that the Mauritanian side won the first match of the tournament against Senegal, but the Senegalese side they've tried as much as possible to see their weakness, and they've been able to work on their weakness. And those their weakness happen to be allowing players like Wedo, players like Sheikh roam round and get those goals. Right now, they've been flying well. They've been cruising. They've done everything well to get 6 goals so far in the final match, and this is what makes them quality.
Well, that man and Galasilla on your screen said that his side were unrecognisable in the opening game against Mauritania. 5-2 it ended. And they were very disjointed, the Senegalese, that day. Far from it today. They're putting together some lovely combinations and scoring some really fine team goals. And they are a different proposition to the side that started out. Perhaps they just needed a bit of time to come to the boil. They certainly wouldn't have underestimated Mauritania, given that they've played them so many times in recent months, and as said, had lost 2 of their games. It's Papa Ndoye who's down on the floor, the 39-year-old. Break in play, a chance for the players to get their breaths back on what is a really tiring game on the sand. The stunning setting of the Red Sea Riviera, which has hosted a terrific 2024 beach soccer AFCON. Wedu with the overhead, he just can't keep it down. He set it up and just took it a smidge too early, which meant that it sailed over the bar rather than crash into the back of the net. Wedu, Batch. Hassan Bar waiting to pounce, and Sheikh. Well, that was possibly his moment. He's not scored in the knockout phase, and he's not going to get a better chance than that. Came his way, and he just could not hit the back of the target, and they need their star team to start finding some goals pretty soon. And that was a glorious opportunity for Mauritania's number 7. Hassan to Sheikh. Rise to tackle from Sam. Goes down. It's just a Mauritanian throw. Sheikh wanted more than that. Hassan Ba. We're rapidly approaching the end of this second period. Sam. We've got Senegal's 4th. Hassan, he's got to be quick. Just under 10 seconds to go. Really important. Block again from Jatta. And Senegal will just use their experience to see this out. The buzzer sounds, and the second period ends with Senegal 5 goals clear in the final of the 2024 Beach Soccer AFCON, and surely on their way to a 5th straight title and an 8th overall on the continent. Abu Aziz, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I am impressed so far with the maturity the Senegalese side has brought into this game. They've showed quality in every position. With the injury problems they've had in their camp, they try to bring this mentality of wanting to adjust to every solution, every problem they got, and this has been impressive. And so far so good. They're already winning and winning so good.
Well, Musa Bagayogo has got work to do to get his side back into this game. As we see the highlights from the second period. Amar Sam with Senegal's 4th goal. At this point, it was 4 clear. And their fans and the holidaymakers enjoying that as well. So too the cameraman. And then finally, Mauritania got on the score sheet. Mahamadou Wedou, his 7th of the tournament. But swiftly at the other end, Mamadou Jan, his 2nd, made it Senegal 5, Mauritania 1. And then it got worse for the Mauritanians as well as Manjon Jan turned home Mamadou Silla's goal-bound strike, making sure it went over the line, possibly going to hit the post, which meant at the end of the second period, the African champions are coasting towards the title once again.
Yeah, I think they are almost, they are 70%, 80% done in this particular encounter. This has shown they're winning 7 beach soccer African Cup of Nations titles. Isn't fluke in any way. They've been the best team so far in the continent. This is what they are showing. They lost their first match of the tournament. They tried as much as possible to bounce back, and this is what makes you quality. This is what makes you the best team, the current champion. I think they are almost through to being the 8th-time champion of the African Cup of Nations.
It is surely just a matter of time. After trailing and going down in the opening game, as said to Mauritania, Senegal bounced back with a 6-1 defeat of Malawi, before then finishing their Group B campaign by beating Mozambique by 6-3. They saw off Egypt in the semi-final, and they are avenging that shock defeat to Mauritania in the first game. Well, Mauritania, meanwhile, after beating the Senegalese, it was then 3-3 against Mozambique, a match they lost on penalties. You can have no draws in beach soccer, even in the group stage of the competition. Any game ends square after regulation time, goes to extra time and then to penalties. Mozambique taking it 4-1. And then Mauritania, in a really, really entertaining game, beat Malawi by 11-6. And then it was against Mauritania not against Mauritania, against Morocco in the semi-final. They were very, very comfortable winners. They've entertained, they've been a huge and most welcome addition, and they were seeking a fairy tale triumph, but that seems some way off for this team, called a rising force before the tournament. That was the label attributed to the Moura Batoon, and they certainly are a rising force, but I think that we can safely say they are a force as the Mauritanian flag billows in the winds off the coast, of the shores of the Red Sea here in Hurghada. So the third and final period. Sheikh trying to touch it out to Bachnyong. Ousseynou Faye, the number 2 goalkeeper for Senegal, the 19-year-old, another with Ngor Almadi in Dakar, is on. He's shown time and again in this competition just how he is the future number 1 for Senegal. Played at the World Cup earlier in the year. Did Ousseynou Faye and scored a stunning goal against Colombia. Absolute peach. Just one of 2 teenagers in the competition. Well, Mauritania have infringed the rules because they played it to the goalkeeper, who played it back to his defender and then picked up the ball when he should not have done, which is one of the rules of beach soccer, as Abu Aziz will explain. But either way, it's a strike from the centre circle for Senegal.
Yeah, in a beach soccer game, when you pass the ball back to your goalkeeper and he holds the ball with his hand, the referees or the officials, they count 1. And if you play the ball continuously and the ball doesn't touch any of the opposing player and the ball comes back to you as a goalkeeper, you shouldn't hold the ball again with your hand. I think that is what the goalkeeper just did now, that got them that free kick.
Senegal and Jatta looking to make it 7 straight at Abdul Latif C, who will instantly try and set Mauritania on their way. Jallo. 2 strikes from the Mauritanian skipper, both blocked by Senegalese. Sheikh over on the far side. Wedou Touemat in the middle. And Silla uses his height to good effect. Sheikh again into Wedou, but it doesn't get that far. A striker goal from Abdul Latif C. Well, he's yet to score in this tournament. The man with FC Nouadhibou in Mauritania's second city. Lovely touch from Manjon into Jan. And a really crucial tackle as well by Bach Nyong for Mauritania. And again, Mamour Jan is down on the ground just as he was early in the first period. The best player in the squad, says Senegal goalkeeper and skipper Alsania Njai. Just caught from the wrong side, and we've said that he is not fully fit, and you can see it the way that he goes down and takes his time, that not everything is right there.
Yeah, he is a player that I have played with numerous occasions, and I understand the pain he is going through right now. And in beach soccer game, problems of the knee happen to be a very, very huge one, and he has been managing that situation since their second group game. And it is something that you would understand how mentally strong he is, because so many other players wouldn't even be on the field at this moment. So he is a very, very important player for the Senegalese side. You can see that so far, because even with his injury, he's been able to get 2 good goals in this particular encounter. So I think this is the right time for them to just rest him, because they have just 10 more minutes, and that should be able for other players in the team to manage.
And you've obviously played in these tournaments before. Just describe to the listeners just how tired you are at this stage of the competition after this is the 5th game in 7 days.
Yeah, it happens to be very, very breathtaking, because no matter how fit you are, no matter how prepared you are in periods like this, playing 5 games in 7 days, it's not something that is easy for any athlete to do. So at this period, I salute every player or every athlete that still has that energy to be able to continue moving. Or a player like Diatta, he has played 36 minutes so far in almost every match. I think that guy is a mentality monster.
And a physical freak, perhaps. Nice strike from Bach Nyong from distance, and a Hollywood-style save from Hussein Ufai. Very comfortable for the tall teen. Manjon will not keep it in over on the far side. Well, I think at this stage, Mauritania could just hope for respectability in this final. Striker goal, deflects behind, Mauritanian corner. And there's going to be another break in play, because Silla's been caught where it hurts. And not looking incredibly comfortable, the 38-year-old with Yoff Beach Soccer. Yoff, one of the beaches in northern Dakar. And a yellow card shown as well for that challenge. Well, he's not comfortable, is he? He's being asked to get up by the official. And Silla hobbles off, and Ndoye comes on. Jallo headed away by Sam. Jallo again, the 27-year-old with FC Scar back home. Been a huge player for Mauritania. Into the middle it goes, and these are the sort of chances they've got to take, however small they may be, but opportunities haven't really come Mauritania's way, and when they're in promising positions like that with players forward, they've got to make them count.
Yeah, in positions like that, I expect you to aim at goal, not trying to pass, because this is the period that your team needs goals, and this is something that makes you a player that wants your team to score, a player that really wants to get it happening. You are already 6 goals won, and occasions like that don't even come often, and whenever you get an opportunity like that, try as much as possible to utilize it. And this is what the Senegalese side, they have done so well. Every opportunity they get.
Strike from goal from Faye against the crossbar, beaten Abdul Latif C. Stunning effort. We know he's got that in his locker, fight, and he hit that well.
Yeah, that is a massive shot from him. He has done so well ever since he started coming on as a substitute for their number 1, Al Sain.
Dipping, curling against the crossbar, and Abdul Latif C back on after being substituted by Hassan earlier. Good save from him. As Manjon looking for his second. Sheikh, for once he's not got Jatta for company, and he can't find Wedu. And is the belief draining from this Mauritanian side?
Yeah, so far so good. Sheikh, the jersey number 7 for Mauritania, he needs to try and understand that in a game of beach soccer, you need to continue being consistent, and that consistency talks about him getting goals, him getting assists. In his last two games, he hasn't been able to bring those electrifying performance that we saw in him from the first 3 games of the tournament, and this is what makes you a special player. This is what makes you stand out. We have seen Wedu that even when the things are not going on well for his country, so far so good, he's still been able to get 1 goal for his country.
He got 5 goals, did Sheikh Belkir, against Malawi, and a man of the match display in the group stages. But he's yet to give his best performance here, and so far he's been in the pocket of Ninu Jatta. Changes are plenty. Gajaga on, Amar Sam off, Manjon is off as well. Chow, Paparandoy, as Abdul Latif C will try his luck from distance, always rising and hitting the wrong net behind the Senegalese goal.
Yeah, the Mauritanian side, they've already qualified to the World Cup right now, and these are the places they need to work on. I'm talking about their goalkeeper being able to execute his qualities with his leg. We can see Faye, the goalkeeper of the Senegalese side, hitting that shot that hits the crossbar right now. This is what is important to you as a goalkeeper. These are some of the qualities and attributes you bring into your team that makes you special.
Jatta, tackled by Bijati. He's a strong physical specimen, not the tallest, but good strength in there from the number 8 for Mauritania. Jallo just lets that roll out of play. Well, it'll be nice to see from a neutral's point of view Mauritania get another and some reward for their efforts. I'm not sure they deserve to be beaten by 5 necessarily from their performances in the competition up to here, but so far today they have been very much second best against a side who, as Abu Aziz, the former Nigeria international, says, got bags of experience, and they're showing exactly what they're all about in this match, and they are not giving Mauritania, their neighbours, an inch. Gajaga. He's got Chow in the middle. Abdul Latif C with the block. Chow with the overhead. Cannons off Jallo and goes out behind for a throw-in. Gajaga. Across the face of goal. Well, Chow didn't go for it. Had he done so, he might have been able to flick that in. He'll be standing there pretty comfortably. And Gala Silla, an outstanding tactician and tireless worker, is how he was described by the man who replaced him, his former assistant, Mamadou Jallo, who led Senegal at the 2022 Nations Cup and at the World Cup earlier in the year. And he's back in his rightful place, he will feel, in Gala Silla, and leading Senegal to another beach soccer African title. It was the first ever trophy that Senegal won on the continent, the beach soccer, and it gave belief to the rest of their teams that success is possible. And that's not just my thoughts, but those of Sadio Mane and Kalidou Koulibaly, who told that to Alseni Ndiaye, the beach soccer goalkeeper. And since then, they've just charged ahead as Sheikh fires over for Mauritania, not just winning the Senior Africa Cup of Nations in 2022, but they've under-17 champions, under-20 champions. Senegal have won the African Nations Championship, or CHAN, the tournament for players based in their own domestic leagues as well. And Ndiaye said that how he recalled how the senior team came to watch the beach soccer AFCON final in 2021 in Sali, just south of Senegal, saying it was a source of motivation for the beach soccer players, and also we showed them how to win a final. And then Aliou Cissé the recently departed Senegal coach after nearly a decade in charge of the Teranga Lions, invited Njai to give a team talk to the senior team ahead of the 2021 officially, even though it was played in 2022 because of the coronavirus pandemic. And his words might have inspired something, because obviously 60 odd years after independence, Senegal finally won Africa's top crown. Oh, that's a nice effort from Wedu, and just a few inches wide of Fai's left hand upright. Nice effort from Mohamedou Wedu from Mauritania. Just the one goal to show for half an hour's play or so. Fai, he's already hit the bar. He wants to get on the score sheet, but that's wide. Bijati. He's a 1-2 with Abdul Latif C. Manjon. It's just all about what the scoreline is going to be here, because it is next to impossible to see Mauritania finding parity in the 4 and a bit minutes that remain.
Yeah, I think the Mauritanian, they've run out of ideas right now, because the Senegalese, they've come toe-to-toe with them, and they've been blocking every opportunity that the Mauritanian could bring for them to score any goal right now. I think this is almost, or I would say this is over. So far so good. The Senegalese side, they've been massive throughout the game, defensively, offensively. They've been everywhere, and it's been helping them so much.
They have been very, very good defensively, as you say. Abou Aziz, Hamdi Salem with the latest effort from Mauritania, once again repelled by Senegal. Fai with the save. And it's both sides of the game that are so important on a not the tallest or longest pitch in the world, just 36 meters or so. You've got to be able to defend, you've got to be able to attack, of course. Sheikh, he can certainly attack, blocked by Jata. He just can't get past the big Senegalese number 2, who's just been a white wall in front of the Mauritanian teenager. Fai, up to Sam. Manjon in the middle. Just 3 minutes separating Senegal from their 5th Beach Soccer Africa Cup of Nations title officially, and 8th African crown overall. Bijati, yet to see him amongst the goals, but then this man Jata has led the back line for Senegal in quite magnificent fashion. Can Abdul Latif C get on the score sheet? He cannot. And there's just over 2.5 minutes to go. Yeah. And more changes from Senegal and Mauritania. Well, I bet they're kind of hoping for the final whistle to go now.
Yeah, something about the Mauritanian team is it shows their level of inexperience in occasions like this, because we have seen Sheikh, that happened to be a very, very interesting player, one of the best players so far in the tournament. But whenever situations arise for him to show that experience, that exposure, he has not been able to turn up. We saw him in the last match against Morocco. He couldn't turn up in that match, and also against the best player so far, the best defender so far, Diatta, he also hasn't been able to turn up. One thing he needs to add to his game right now is, once things are not going your way, you need to be more of a team player than trying to improvise to get goals for yourself. This is just what Sheikh needs to do. And also in periods like this, a player, their goalkeeper, their number one goalkeeper, is being Abdul Latif. He has been a very, very good goalkeeper. But in periods like this, he needs to be the extra player. And being the extra player is coming towards the middle of the field to also play with your teammates, and not just shooting for the sake of shooting, because in that you are losing the ball.
The thoughts of Abou Aziz, who has played in 2 of these finals, as we go into the final 2 minutes of the game, and a formality, as said at this point, that Senegal will be African champions once again. Ndoye, fairly challenging Jallo. Now, Jallo has scored 2 goals at the tournament, and both of them have been from free kicks. a stunning curling effort against Morocco in the semi-finals, and a clever effort from the halfway line against Senegal in the opening game in Group B. Can he make it a hat-trick from distance? Up he steps, the 27-year-old, low and hard, and comfortable for Fai, who rushes out to ensure that Njai doesn't get anything on it. In it goes into the middle, and Sam can't get on the really good flick inside from Chow. 90 seconds to play. Wedu. We've seen so much magic from Mamadou Wedu, and 3 Senegalese players just crowding him off the ball. And Hamdi, who scored the winner against Senegal, effectively made it 5-2 late on. And that's a foul. And they don't think it should be, the Mauritanians. But Senegal will have a strike at goal from near the halfway line. Just over a minute to go.
Yeah, I think that was
the celebrations in Dakar surely already beginning.
It starts right now, and this is what makes you a champion. They've shown maturity, they've shown commitment, they've shown this mental smartness, mental alertness in their game, and for a team that has been struggling with so many injuries and losing their first game to the same Mauritanian side and coming back to win against the same Mauritanian side, it shows how good the Senegalese side they have been. For a very long time, they've been champions in Africa, and I think they would continue being the champion of Africa with the same crop of players.
Well, it has been a completely different performance. Amar Sam looking to make it 7th heaven for Senegal, but just bouncing up wide of the goal. Jallo to Abdul Latif C. Going to hit this again at goal, and a resigned look from some of those up front, the likes of Hamdi Salem and Wedu. Frustration etched all over their faces. Fai. Sam again. Jallo just trying to get Mauritania on the score sheet just one final time in this final. Sheikh against Jatta. He strikes a goal, and he does beat Jatta for once, and when he does, he can't find a way past Fai, who pokes out her leg to make a good stop.
Yeah, these are the kind of performance, these are the kind of efforts we need from a player like him. He has been so good in the tournament. Unfortunately, he's playing against the best team in the tournament, the teams that has considered less in the tournament. I think he's done well for himself so far, and it's a good one for him.
It is indeed. The buzzer has sounded. Senegal have avenged their opening day shock defeat to Mauritania and have done it again. What a feat. They are Beach Soccer Africa Cup of Nations champions for the 5th time, beating Mauritania by 6-1, and they are effectively 8-time kings of the continent, given their previous successes when the World Cup qualifiers were effectively an African championship. What a display from them. No goals in the final third period in the end, but the damage had been done in the second period. Goals from Mamour Dian, Gadjaga Seydina Lay, Gadjaga, Ninu Jatta, Amar Sam and Manjon Jan meant that it was just far too much in the end for Mauritania, who only managed to reply once midway through the second period, and when they did, Senegal instantly went up the other end. Mamour Dian with his second of the game, killing off any Mauritanian challenge. And the side and country that has been teaching Mauritania how to play beach soccer has shown them in the final, where it matters most, exactly how it's done. Congratulations, Senegal, for yet another triumph. The celebrations go on. Commiserations amongst the Mauritanians, but they have been absolutely terrific this tournament. The debutants, Abu Aziz, the former Nigeria international. Your thoughts on this latest success from Senegal? We'll come to Mauritania in a moment, but first, the African champions yet again.
Yeah, massive tournament for Senegal, and massive achievements for them, crowning themselves the champion once again. They've done so well for themselves, and for the new players that joined the team, they've been able to test what victory looks like, and I think the technical crew, they are the people to give that praise to, because they did so well, blending the new players and the old players. Looking at the injury problems they had in the team, they still had that mentality, that winning mentality in them that got them the victory. So a massive one for Senegal. They have shown that at the moment no team is bigger, better than them in beach soccer in Africa.
Exactly correct. And just to bring you up to speed with that, where we are, Senegal the champions, Mauritania runners-up. Morocco took third place, and top scorer at the tournament, Alexander Adjei, whose 11 goals have not been beaten. Let's have a word about Mauritania as the Senegalese celebrations go on. What on earth, how full of admiration are you for their performance on their Nations Cup debut?
Yeah, I am so impressed with the Mauritanian side, a team that coming into the AFCON for the first time and winning against eliminating Nigeria, the almighty Nigeria, before coming into this tournament.
Says the Nigerian.
The almighty Nigeria. I think that's a big feat for them. That's a massive achievement for them. And coming into this tournament, I think I wasn't looking at them like a team that would get into the semi-final. But looking at their first match against Senegal, they won, and they won convincingly. I think they've done so well for them. They just need to get back to Mauritania, look at the positives in the team. And the positives in their team is that they've gotten a massive squad, they've got a massive depth. They just need to try as much as possible to build ahead of this present squad to be able to do well at the World Cup Mundial in Seychelles 2025.
They have indeed. What a display it has been. And let's talk about that Beach Soccer World coming up in May. Africa, 3 representatives, given that the Seychelles are hosting the tournament and the first African side to do so. Senegal, their best finish back in 2021. They came 4th, the closest Africa has ever come to being on the podium, but they lost their semi-final to Japan that year, and then the 3rd place playoff to Switzerland. This will be their 10th appearance when they get to the World Cup next year. What sort of a challenge do you expect from the African champions, and what sort of a challenge do you expect from Mauritania? Seychelles, it's going to be a little different given that they're the host and didn't even qualify for this competition, but how do you think these two teams will perform starting with the African champions?
Yeah, for the Senegalese side, they are not new to the World Cup. They've been there, they've seen everything. They were almost close to conquer the world when they came 4th at the World Cup, and they just need to try as much as possible to build on the positives in the team and go back to look at what they didn't do well at the last World Cup. And because the last World Cup, they won just 1 match in 3 appearances. They just need to try as much as possible to start building ahead of the World Cup from this experience. And I believe that if Mauritania and the Senegalese side, if they can start their preparations from this moment, they might be able to get to at least the semi-final or final of the World Cup. For the Mauritanian side, this is their first time coming into the AFCON, and they've gotten to the final. It shows how good their team has been. They just need to do some tactical changes, some tactical approach to their game to be able to go further. I think with the Mauritanian team that I've just seen, if they add more strength, more tactical experience and exposure, they should be able to go past the group stages at the World Cup.
So some of the highlights from the final of the Africa Cup of Nations: Mahamadou Wedou reducing arrears for Mauritania to make it 4-1 after the Senegalese had led from goals from Mamadou Diane, Seydina Gadjaga, Ninu Jatta and Amar Sam. And Mamadou Diane, the only player to score 2 in the final, was later named the man of the match. And then Mamadou Silla driving it across for Manjon Diane to get on the score sheet for Senegal, his 6th of the tournament. That was the scoreline at the end of the second period, and the third didn't change anything to leave Senegal as champions, won again, their 5th Beach Soccer Africa Cup of Nations title in a row. What a feat by them, and their 8th African crown overall, to the delight of Gadjaga and the whole squad, of course. Congratulations, Senegal, their flag flying high. Well, this is the Senegalese captain and goalkeeper Alseni Njai giving his reaction. Well, I said Mamour Diane was the man of the match. I think it was actually, in the end, Alseni Njai. Got news coming through of some other awards going on. The best player at the tournament has been named as Ninu Jatta of Senegal, and I would have thought you, for one, will be very happy with that decision, or not, are you?
Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm impressed. I am not surprised because this is the qualities he has. He happened to be an exceptional player, a defender that stands out in occasions.
I'm going to have to stop you, sorry, because we can hear from the Senegal winning coach, Ngala Sylla.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the brand new trophy of the CAF Beach Soccer Africa Cup of Nations.
Ngala Sylla, what a job he has done with Senegal. 4 titles now, 2016, 2018, 2021 and 2024. Sorry, Abu Aziz, I interrupted you. Your thoughts on Ninu Jatta as player of the tournament. If there hadn't been Ninu Jatta, who are the players that you think he might just have pipped to the award?
Yeah, I think I would have picked...
You would have picked Jatta, I think, possibly, but who do you think else was in the frame? I'm going to have to stop you again, because now we've got Moussa Bagayogo, the Mauritanian skipper, giving his thoughts to the Mauritanian coach even, and it gives you a little chance, Abu Aziz, to gather your thoughts about who else was in the frame. Well, he can be immensely proud, Moussa Bagayogo. I was talking to him yesterday. He told me that he is still not a fan of beach soccer, would you believe it? He accepted to become the coach of Mauritania's beach soccer team, saying when the nation calls you to action, it is your duty to respond. But he was still telling me yesterday he still prefers the 11-a-side game to this version of it. Anyway, your other players in the mix for the Best Player Award?
Yeah, I think that would be Sheikh, the jersey number 7 of Mauritania. He is a very, very good player. He's an exceptional player, and he did well for his country, getting 6 goals so far, and he also got some assists. His appearance, his presence on that pitch alone for the Mauritanian side means a lot, and that is something that I think he has done well for himself in this tournament.
Thank you very much, Abu Aziz. Other awards being handed out for the best goalkeeper. I understand that that may have gone to the Egyptian keeper. We will wait and see. Mohamed Al Sayed awaiting confirmation. What is certain is that Alexander Adjei of Ghana, who scored 3 hat-tricks in his 4 games, ends as the top scorer, as we see Patrice Motsepe, the Confederation of African Football president, the gentleman behind him in the hat, Augustin Senghor, the president of the Senegalese Football Federation, sporting a big smile. That's Samson Adamu on the left of your screen, the competitions director for African football's governing body, CAF. It is not too hot today, so nice opportunity for a suit. And Motsepe, the South African, will of course be handing out the awards to the players as well as the trophy itself, a new trophy for this year's event.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we begin with the trophy for the best goalkeeper of the tournament. And it's awarded to Min Masr from Egypt, number 1, رقم 1,
Mohamed El Sayed, the Egyptian goalkeeper, being named the tournament's best. I'm not entirely sure here to be my choice. Yours?
Yeah, I think it is obviously not my choice, but the team came for third in the tournament. They're trying as much as possible to make the goalkeeper, because he did well in the match. Unfortunately, they lost. That might have even been the Moroccan goalkeeper.
Well, Njai was certainly in the frame as a good goalkeeper. Senegal's two stoppers could have a little bit of a bid. Well, nice to see Alexander Adjei, the Ghanaian, still here. 11 goals in 4 games, 3 hat-tricks against the likes of Egypt. He got 3. Mozambique, he got 3. And against Tanzania, he scored 4. Just the one against Morocco. But what a display from him. He was the top scorer many years ago. Alexander Adjei, he came into the tournament not fully fit either. So what a display from that man, Alexander Adjei, 30 years of age. Well, the Fair Play Award as well has also gone to an Egyptian. Congratulations to Egypt for their performance as the Egyptian, as the Fair Play winners, a key component. And now the best player of the 2024 Beach Soccer Africa Cup of Nations, Ninu Jatta, a regular on the pitch, and look how popular he is with his teammates. And this is a fully deserved trophy for a man who's been immense. He scored an absolutely stunning goal, a super technical volley against Egypt, the host nation, in the semi-finals. He was man of the match against Mozambique with a brace against them in the group stages, and he scored Senegal's 3rd of their 6 against Mauritania in the final, and he kept the live wire danger man Sheikh Belkir. I say man, he's really a boy, he's 19 years of age, but he just couldn't find a way past this man who can defend and score. Terrific player, and a worthy recipient of the award as the match officials come up to get their medals and mementos. Thankfully, no controversy or incidents whatsoever in the final of the Nations Cup. Out of the 18 games of the tournament, only one had any real needle and bad blood, as it were. And that the clash between Morocco and Ghana in Group A. It was a fairly unseemly affair. We're just seeing Ngalasila waving to people behind us and all around us, and my commentating colleague in French, Aboubakry Ba, who's Senegalese as well. Happy days for the Teranga Lions as Morocco come up to take their bronze medals for the 3rd Beach Soccer AFCON in a row. Gilberto da Costa de Souza, he's got a World Cup winners medal at home. He's now got a bronze from Africa's premier beach soccer event to go with it. I suspect he'll treasure the global award more than that. Your thoughts on Morocco, Abu Aziz?
Yeah, they did so well, because in various third place matches they've played against Egypt, they came they came out being the losing side, and they tried everything possible to win today, and winning on the Egyptian soil makes them a good side, or the better side today. I think it's a good one for them. They just need to build on the positives from this particular tournament. They did so well, and unfortunately for them, losing in the semi-final against the good Mauritanian side. They just need to understand that sometimes it doesn't go your way, but it doesn't take away the fact that they are a very, very good and well-coached side.
Congratulations to Morocco, who are beginning to gather behind a sign saying third place. There you go, there they are on your screens. Some terrific performance in there. Reda Zahraoui, Driss Ghanam, amongst those who really stood out for the North Africans. Well, who would have thought this before the competition began, that Mauritania, making their beach soccer Nations Cup bow, would be coming up to take a silver medal. They obviously wanted more, having got this far and having beaten Senegal in their opening game by 3 clear goals. But a step too far in the end, but still an incredible achievement. Their coach called Senegal the definitive benchmark for African beach soccer before the tournament, and unfortunately for him, his words have been proven correct today. 6-1 they were convincingly, comprehensively beaten by their neighbours, but it's been an incredible display. The first time they ever even tried to qualify, they knocked out the 2-time kings of Africa in the shape of Nigeria. They knocked out Morocco, who've invested a lot of money, as said, brought in a World Cup winning coach from Brazil, no less, to try to get to the final of this competition. And they beat Senegal, the defending champions, in their opening game. They can be immensely proud of themselves, and possibly most importantly of all, given their lack of the trophy, they are on their way to the Beach Soccer World Cup in May in the Seychelles. We'll see more of Mauritania in future. We've seen a lot of this team in the past. Raoul Mendy coming up limping, as you can see. We said he was injured before the game. Nice to see him leading his side. Mamour Diane, you got 2 in the final, filming the selfies that I'm sure we may see on social media later at one end, Gadjaga at the other, and celebrations all round for Senegal as their federation president in the cap, as said, Augustin Senghor, celebrates with his players. They are simply the dominant force on the continent. Who do you see dethroning them in future, if anyone? But it's got to be somebody one day.
Yeah, I think that might also be the same Mauritanian team or the Moroccan team. I think they came so close to defeating Senegal, and if they just build from the positives they've seen, there are, from what I have seen in the Senegalese side, they also have loopholes. And the loopholes they have is to see them lose against the Mauritanian side in the first group game. And this is what more teams just need to look at when you try to defeat them in their next match or next tournament.
Well, Alseni Unjai, who will be lifting that trophy, surely giving a kiss to the new trophy, the new award designed for this year's finals, a mixture of sea and sand. It is supposed to be, and Patrice Motsepe hands it over to Alseni Unjai. He is used to this. He's done this many times before. And waiting, building the suspense. Senegal are the African champions of the 2024 Beach Soccer AFCON yet again. Glitter filling the sky here in Hurghada, Egypt. They are an immovable force in beach soccer on the continent. Their 5th straight title to add to those in 2016, 2018, 2021 and 2022, and now 2024. And they are celebrating as well in their own inimitable style. Fantastic stuff from Senegal. Mamour Diane, 2 goals in the final. 6-1 they took it against the debutants, Mauritania. What a display it's been. And a final word from you, Abu Aziz. Your thoughts on what has been a terrific 2024 Beach Soccer AFCON?
Yeah, it's been a massive tournament. The setup from the beginning to the end has been so good. Uganda has been a massive place to organize this tournament. Egypt has been so welcoming, and the participants so far, they've done so well, and well-deserved victory for the Senegalese side, and for the Mauritanian side, they've been so amazing. They showed the whole world that it is not about how many times you participate at a major tournament, but it is about how prepared you are. So I am so impressed with the two African countries that has qualified to represent Africa at the Mondial in Seychelles next year. They just need to start everything possible to start that preparation to be able to represent us well at the Mondial.
Well, thank you very much, Abu Aziz, the former Nigeria international. It's been an absolute pleasure to share these commentaries with you. Thank you. Congratulations, Senegal. A reminder that Morocco have taken third place at this event. Mauritania finished second. The top scorer, Alexander Adjei of Ghana. The best player, Nino Jatta of Senegal. African champions for the 5th Beach Soccer AFCON in a row. Congratulations to them. Goodbye from Hurghada as Patrice Motsepe, the Confederation of African Football President, gives his thoughts on this tournament.
Thank you so much, boss.